As the world stood on the brink of chaos in the early 1940s, the stage was set for one of the most brutal conflicts in human history, World War II. This global war, ignited by the aggression of both Nazi Germany in Europe and the Empire of Japan in the Pacific, would come to involve over 30 countries and last for 6 devastating years. The world's major powers were split into 2 opposing military alliances. The Allies, led by the United States, the United Kingdom and the Soviet Union, and the Axis, spearheaded by Germany, Italy and Japan. Tensions escalated, alliances shifted, and the globe was drawn into a conflict of unprecedented scale and magnitude. In the vast expanse of the Pacific, the United States and its allies found themselves locked in a fierce struggle against the Japanese Empire. This theater of the war was marked by intense naval battles, island-hopping campaigns, and brutal jungle warfare. One of the most significant battles fought in the Pacific was the Battle of Guadalcanal. On August 7, 1942, the United States launched its first major offensive against Japanese forces at Guadalcanal. Thus began a critical chapter in World War II, where the stakes were high and the odds frankly were not in our favor. Our brave men, in their thousands, landed on the sandy shores of Guadalcanal, hearts pounding with a mix of fear and courage. Their objective was clear: capture the airfield. And they did. They took control and renamed it Henderson Field, a tribute to a fallen hero, Major Lofton Henderson. But the victory was not without its trials. The harsh, hostile jungle terrain was a constant adversary, as unfamiliar and relentless as the enemy they were fighting. The torrential rains, the stifling humidity, the unknown diseases lurking in the shadows, these were challenges our troops had to face every grueling day and night. But the battle was far from over. The Japanese were determined to reclaim Guadalcanal. Our men stood strong, ready for the trials that lay ahead. For months, the battle raged on both land and sea. The Pacific Ocean became a battleground, with the naval clashes of Savo Island and Cape Esperance leaving indelible marks on the annals of history. At Savo Island, the Allies met with a devastating defeat, losing 4 heavy cruisers. But they learned their lessons well. The Battle of Cape Esperance marked a turning point. The U.S. Navy, with renewed resolve, intercepted and defeated a Japanese fleet that was en route to reinforce their troops on Guadalcanal. On the ground, the struggle was equally fierce. Henderson Field, a crucial airstrip, became a bone of contention. Night after night, the Japanese launched relentless attacks, attempting to take control, yet the Marines held their ground, repelling the invaders with dogged determination. As the battle raged, reinforcements poured in from both sides. For the Japanese, it was an attempt to tip the scales in their favor. For the Americans, it was a chance to strengthen their defenses and bolster their offensive capabilities. The presence of fresh troops intensified the conflict, but it also brought renewed hope and vigor to the weary soldiers. The Americans, drawing strength from their deep-seated resolve, began to push back, slowly regaining control of lost territories. By December, the tide of the battle began to turn in favor of the Americans. The struggle was far from over, but a glimmer of victory was beginning to shine on the horizon. The Battle of Guadalcanal officially ended on February 9, 1943, when American forces declared the island secure. The island, once teeming with the hum of war, fell silent. The Japanese forces had withdrawn, retreating under the relentless pressure of the American offensive. This was no mere territorial gain. The victory at Guadalcanal held profound strategic significance. It marked the first major offensive by Allied forces against the Empire of Japan. Known as Operation Watchtower, it effectively halted the Japanese advance in the Pacific and turned the tide of the war. But this victory was not without its cost. The numbers speak of a brutal, hard-fought battle. Over 7,000 American lives were lost, while the Japanese casualties were almost triple that number. These figures are a stark testament to the ferocity of the conflict. The impact of Guadalcanal resonated far beyond its sandy shores. Its reverberations were felt throughout the remainder of the war in the Pacific, shaping strategies and outcomes. It bolstered the morale of the Allied forces and sent a clear message to the Axis powers. The tide of the war was changing. The Battle of Guadalcanal was a turning point in World War II, a testament to the courage and resilience of those who fought there. Their bravery is a reminder of the high cost of freedom,